What if I told you one blockchain is quietly empowering a new wave of millionaires, and it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum? Solana isn't just another altcoin, and we might be on the edge of its next breakout. So is Solana your ticket to crypto millions, or just another hype train? Solana is a blockchain network, just like Ethereum or Bitcoin, but with a very specific mission: to be fast, scalable, and cheap. And when I say fast, I mean lightning fast. Solana can handle over 65,000 transactions per second. Compare that to Ethereum, which is currently around 15 to 30. That's like comparing a Ferrari to a rental scooter with a dead battery. Solana finishes before Ethereum even gets it up the block. And honestly, sometimes Ethereum just never gets it up at all. So why does their speed matter? Because if crypto is ever going to go mainstream, like actually paying for coffee, streaming music, or playing video games on-chain, the blockchain behind it needs to be quick, seamless, and affordable. Let's face it, nobody's going to wait 10 minutes or pay $15 in gas fees just to send $5. Solana is designed to eliminate those pain points. It's built to feel invisible like the internet. You don't think about how email gets sent, you just click send. Solana is aiming for that level of smoothness with money and apps. And here's the kicker. Unlike many other projects that are still in development or stuck in beta forever, Solana is already live. It's powering real apps with real users doing thousands of transactions every single second. From NFT platforms and DeFi apps to payments and even mobile phones. Yes, Solana has a phone. This network isn't just being talked about, it's being used. In a crypto world full of promises and roadmaps, Solana is one of the rare blockchains that's delivering right now, not just being hyped for the future. Now that you know what Solana is, don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I'll break down some realistic but bold price targets for where Solana could go. If you're wondering how high it can climb, trust me, you'll want to hear this. To understand how Solana is able to be so fast, we need to talk about how Solana actually secures its network, because this part trips up a lot of beginners. Most people have heard of Bitcoin and how it's secured by something called proof of work. That's where powerful computers, called miners, solve complex math problems to validate transactions. It's very secure, but also slow and uses a ton of energy. Think of it like a bunch of people racing to solve a Rubik's Cube. Whoever solves it first gets rewarded, but everyone else just wasted their time and electricity. Now compare that to proof of stake, which is what Solana uses. With proof of stake, instead of burning energy solving puzzles, people stake or lock up their crypto as a kind of deposit to help secure the network. The more they stake, the more likely they are to be chosen to validate the next block of transactions. If they behave honestly, they earn rewards. If they try to cheat, they lose their stake. It's way more efficient and eco-friendly than proof of work. Now me myself, I've actually had a lot of trouble understanding the differences between these two technical terms. But here's how I like to remember it. Think of proof of work as computers that are competing with each other to solve puzzles. In proof of stake, I think of it as people locking up their coins to keep things honest. Solana now takes this even a step further with something called proof of history, which helps it keep track of time between blocks without slowing things down. You don't need to memorize that term, but just know it helps Solana be super fast without giving up its security. This is what allows Solana to process thousands of transactions instantly, while keeping fees ultra low. We're talking fractions of a penny, not $20 or $30 like sometimes you have to pay with Ethereum during high traffic. Now let's talk about the ecosystem. Solana is home to some of the most exciting and active projects in crypto. If you've heard of BONK or WIF, those are meme coins that exploded on Solana. You've also got Magic Eden for NFTs and Jupiter for swapping tokens. It's basically Solana's version of Chuck E. Cheese, except instead of earning pizza and tickets, you're trading JPEGs for life-changing gains, or losses. Well, mostly losses. And there's even the Saga phone, Solana's own crypto-enabled smartphone that lets you mint NFTs with a simple tap. You see, Solana isn't just a network, it's a whole ecosystem of apps, coins, and tools. That's one of the biggest reasons people are bullish on it. The more apps that get built, the more users it attracts. And the more users it attracts, the more valuable the entire network becomes. Now, here's where Solana really stands out. You see, it's usable. Developers are building payment systems, games, identification verification tools all directly on Solana. And because it's cheap and fast, it's actually practical for everyday use. Imagine a future where your concert tickets, your bank transfers, your in-game rewards, and your music royalties are all handled on Solana instantly, transparently, and without middlemen. Imagine buying a coffee on chain. It's like Starbucks, but your latte comes with a transaction hash. Don't worry, it still tastes like disappointment and oat milk. Now, this isn't just some wild fantasy. A lot of it is already happening. That's why institutions are paying attention. Venture capital firms have invested hundreds of millions into Solana-based startups. They're betting big that Solana tech will power the future of finance, entertainment, and digital identity. Well, let's be honest. Solana did have a rough 2022. It was hit hard during the FTX collapse because FTX had invested heavily in Solana. The prices tanked, projects paused, and a lot of people thought Solana was dead. But here's what's crazy. Solana didn't just survive that, it came back even stronger. There were developers that kept building, users kept using, and today, Solana is actually one of the fastest growing chains again, by user activity and transaction volume. That kind of resilience says a lot. It shows that it isn't just hype. There's real utility behind it, and a strong community that backs it. So why are people such as Raul Pal saying anyone can get mega rich with Solana? It's not because it's guaranteed to make you rich. I mean, nothing in crypto is actually guaranteed. But Solana does check a lot of boxes for long-term potential. I mean, it's fast, it's cheap, and it has real developers building real products. And it's one of the few projects that actually works right now. It's not just theory. And because of all that, early investors believe it could be like buying Ethereum back in 2017. Well, it's not the absolute ground floor, but still early enough to see explosive growth if the ecosystem keeps on expanding. Now, if you're new to crypto and want to actually understand these altcoins, not just get hyped, I've got more deep dives coming your way. The next altcoin breakdown drops in about a week, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. So make sure you hit the subscribe button now so you're first in line. Now, before you go all in on Solana, here's something to keep in mind. Solana is still growing. It's fast and powerful, but it's also a relatively young blockchain compared to giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That means there's still some rough edges. The chain has had outages in the past, moments where the network temporarily stopped processing transactions. Now, that's definitely not ideal, especially when you're aiming to be the foundation of global finance. But the team behind Solana has worked hard to fix those issues, rolling out major updates to improve reliability and uptime. So, yeah, Solana took a few naps. I mean, who hasn't? The important thing is, it got back up, had a protein shake, and kept on running. It's important to understand that Solana isn't perfect. No blockchain is. And in crypto, speed often comes with trade-offs. Ethereum, for example, prioritizes decentralization and security, while Solana emphasizes speed and user experience. And it's not without competition. Ethereum still dominates in developer activity and market share. At the same time, new challenges such as Sui, Aptos, and Avalanche are just right behind, offering their own versions of fast and scalable blockchains, each with slightly different tech and strategies. But here's the difference. Solana is moving fast, not in just transaction speed, but in ecosystem growth. It has momentum, brand recognition, and some of the most committed developers in the space. It's already gaining serious traction in areas like DeFi, NFTs, payments, and even real-world retail adoption. And most importantly, it's proving itself where it counts, in actual user adoption. Every week, thousands of people are using apps built on Solana. That's a strong sign that this isn't just hype, it's progress. Now, are you finding this video helpful? Then do me a favor and smash that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm this video is worth watching, and tells me you want more deep dives just like this one. If you're a beginner wondering whether Solana is worth adding to your portfolio, here's my take. You don't want to go all in, but at the same time, you don't want to ignore it either. Solana has real-world use, a vibrant ecosystem, and serious backing. And if you believe crypto is going to play a bigger role in the world over the next few years, then Solana is one of the coins that deserves your attention. Now, I'll be real with you. I do own Solana, but honestly, I came late to the party. You see, I actually didn't start buying it until early 2024, when it was already trading between $125 and $200. By then, the big run had already started. And yeah, I definitely wish I had gotten in earlier, and I wish that I bought more. You know that feeling when you find an amazing restaurant, but it's already packed and everyone else seems to know about it? That's kind of how I felt with Solana. I saw the tech, I saw the momentum, and I knew this wasn't just another hype coin. So even though I was late, I still believe there's room to grow. And I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't think it was worth paying attention to, especially now. I got a quick question before we move on. Do you own Solana? I'm super curious how early you got in. Drop a comment below and let me know when you first started buying it, or if you're still just thinking about it. I read every comment, so let's see who the real OGs are. Okay, let's talk about what everyone here is thinking. Price. So, at the start of 2023, Solana was trading around only $10. Since then, it's bounced back and is in the $150 range. That's already a 15x for people who bought the dip. But what about the rest of 2025? If the crypto market enters full bull mode and Solana continues to gain traction, it's not crazy to see Solana hitting $300 to $400 by year's end. And if institutions start building on it or integrating Solana into real-world apps like gaming or payments, the upside could go beyond that. I'm not saying it'll go to the moon overnight, but doubling from here is definitely on the table. So now you know both sides of the coin when it comes to Solana. And yeah, maybe I was using Ethereum as a punching bag to hype up Solana, but here's the truth. I'm actually even more bullish on ETH. If you want to know why, click here to watch my full Ethereum breakdown. It'll give you the full picture.